Last night on this program, you saw a college student in Iowa who rose to speak to the state legislature in defense of his parents, two women who married after Iowa became one of the only 5 states to allow same-sex couples to do so. The right of same-sex couples to marry in Iowa has come under attack from the moment the state Supreme Court ruled unanimously in favor of legalizing it nearly 2 years ago. This week, Iowa House Republicans voted to create a ballot measure that, if approved, would not only ban same-sex marriage, but state recognition of civil unions and domestic partnerships. But before they voted, they had to listen to my next guest, Zach Wahls.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. My name is Zach Wahls. I'm a 6th-generation Iowan and an engineering student at the University of Iowa, and I was raised by 2 women. Being a student at the University of Iowa, the topic of same-sex marriage comes up quite frequently in classroom discussions. And the question always comes down to, well, can gays even raise kids? And the question, the conversation gets quiet for a moment because most people don't really have an answer. And then I raise my hand and say, actually, I was raised by a gay couple, and I'm doing pretty well. I scored in the 99th percentile on the ACT. I'm actually an Eagle Scout. I own and operate my own small business. If I was your son, Mr. Chairman, I believe I'd make you very proud. I'm not really so different from any of your children. My family really isn't so different from yours. So what you're voting here isn't to change us. It's not to change our families, it's to change how the law views us, how the law treats us. You are voting for the first time in the history of our state to codify discrimination into our Constitution. A Constitution that, but for the proposed amendment, is the least amended Constitution in the United States of America. You are telling Iowans that some among you are second-class citizens who do not have the right to marry the person you love. So will this vote affect my family? Would it affect yours? But in my 19 years, not once have I ever been confronted by an individual who realized independently that I was raised by a gay couple. And you know why? Because the sexual orientation of my parents has had 0 effect on the content of my character. Thank you very much.
Joining me now in a Last Word exclusive, Zach Wahls, his mother's Terry Wahls and Jackie Rieger, and his sister Zebby. Zach, thank you very much, and your family, for joining us tonight. Zach, why did you decide to tell your story to the legislature?
Lawrence, it's just one of those things where I think anybody in my position really would have. If it was your family that was, being told it didn't have the legal right to exist in your state, I think you would have done the same thing.
What kind of reaction have you received? I can tell you throughout this building and all the viewers I've talked to who saw you on this show last night, it has really been an extraordinary reaction.
It's really been overwhelming. I was sitting at work on Tuesday, and a coworker walked up to me and asked, do you realize that you're all over Facebook? And I didn't even know what she was talking about until, she took me back to her computer, and that was like half of her news feed. The response has really just been absolutely overwhelming. It's been so inspirational for me to hear from so many people. They're supporting, my family and, the rights of, gay couples and families led by gay couples all across the country. It's really, it's unbelievable.
Terry Wahls, parents have a lot of proud moments, and our eyes water at everything from kindergarten graduations right through every other big moment in their lives. This is an extraordinary one. This is a parent who's being defended publicly by her son. What did it feel like to watch Zach get up and do that?
Oh, it was magnificent. It brought tears to my eyes. It still brings tears to my eyes watching the talk, hearing all of the praise, the commentary coming from friends and people around the globe. It's inspiring. It's really very, very lovely.
Zach, as a precocious high school student, you wrote in an op-ed piece that appeared in the Des Moines Register in 2009 praising the court ruling that made this kind of marriage legal. At that time you wrote, it would take a brave lawmaker, but one ought to propose a piece of legislation to completely remove government from the marriage process altogether, leaving a religious ceremony to religious institutions, and make civil unions accessible by any 2 people, including those of the same sex, the norm for legal benefits. Zach, you're 19, you're 2 years away 2 years away from being legally eligible to run for the House of Representatives in Iowa and become that brave legislator who offers that proposal. Any thoughts of doing that?
Lawrence, I'm an engineering student at the University of Iowa. I'm planning on going into engineering. And it's not, of course, to say that there are some public policy things I'd like to see accomplished, but personally, no. No plans yet.
Terry, what would happen to your marriage? What would happen to your life situation if the opponents of your marriage prevailed and made it illegal in your state?
Well, I think the most immediate thing would be impact on health benefits. Jackie's on my health insurance. This summer, Jackie was laid off, and we upped our wedding, which was planned for the October 21st, to August, so that Jackie could be on my health insurance. So we'd have an immediate impact that way.
Jackie, I know you're not eager to get into this discussion, but you do have a mic, and I just want to get a quick reaction from you about what it was like to watch your son give that speech.
It was just incredible. It was like, wow, that's our boy. That's it.
Zebby, I just want to get a word from you of what it was like to see your brother get up there and do that.
It was incredible. I mean, I'm so proud of him. It's been very surreal these past couple of days, and it's just been fantastic seeing him go out there and make a difference in the world.
Zach, what do you think is happening to this issue in your state? Do you think that there's any real threat to the legality of gay marriage there, or is this a fight that's just going to continue in Iowa?
No, yeah, the House did pass HJR 6, 6249, or 39, I guess. But the fact is that it won't clear the Senate. The fact is that Iowa State Senator Mike Gronstal, has promised that it will not even come up for a vote. And so, that means that the earliest this could reach the ballot wouldn't be until nearly 4 or 5 years from now. So, even though the other side might have scored some points here, the fact of the matter is it's going to be a couple of years before this comes up for a vote, if it does at all.
It is a pleasure to say that Zach Wahls just got the last word tonight. Zach Wahls, along with his moms, Terry and Jackie, and his sister Zebby, we appreciate your time, and I commend you, Zach, for your eloquent defense of your family. Thank you all for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.